happened? No, seriously, never mind about that. I'll tell you what happened. I was in my bath. I was having a bath, right, and I'm lying there soaking like little rubber ducks bobbing along there, and I've got all the oils in there. And I suddenly realised that the amount of body of mine was in the bath, the water level had risen to the certain extent that the water had been displaced by my body, right? And I'd come across a great mathematician, and I went, Eureka! And this little Scandinavian bird pops her head in, right? I said, what's going on here? A couple of lovely... Oh, I do get some lovely gifts, and this one is absolutely beautiful. She said, a very, very pretty girl sent me this. That's Vanessa May has sent me that, bless her. I said, so you can count the hours that we're apart. Absolutely. Beautiful violinist, and 15, which in my book is legal. There you go. There you go. Now, what have we got? Oh, now this stuff. This is, this is the most important part of my equipment. Please. What I've done with this, right? I'm not a religious person. I wasn't until this happened. This pipe, God gave me this. God sent this to me to earn me loads of money. What you do is you put that end in someone's petrol tank, right? And you suck that end until the suction gets going. Then you put it into another tank, and all the petrol comes round, and you can get it, right? And that's paid for. Someone's already paid for it. It's waste petrol, and you can keep that yourself. And God gave me that to sell and make millions of pounds for myself. There you go. It's always best to keep a little bit of that for afterwards. However you do anything dirty with your mouth, always use that afterwards. Please. What have we got here? What's in my cupboard here? Let's have a look. Ah, well, here, this is the kind of thing you need to know. You probably wouldn't not know this, right? But say you had a show business friend came round. Maybe Michael Aspel come round. There you go. Bit of cheese. Loves a bit of cheese, Michael Aspel. Obviously, Melvin Bragg comes round. You have to give him that seriously strong cheese. Right, and what about if anybody come round? What about if Barrymore come round? There you go. Nice fizzy drink. Nice fizzy drink for Barrymore. There you go. But hey, if a gladiator come round, you have to give him that, you see? Big drink. Maybe Vanessa come round. Vanessa Feltz come round. You have to give her that, look. Bigger. That's very nice. That's lovely, that. Now, what have we got in here? What's my family got for us in here? Well, I don't quite understand what's going on here, my family. This is a tube of pate, is it? Is that what it is? Well, and then what? And a picture. Oh, there's lots of these around my house. They're very lovely. They're very svelte. Miss Vanessa Feltz, very good showbiz friend of mine. Now, you put them together and you... What have you got here? Oh, I see. Oh, that's supposed to be funny, is it, my family? Well, you don't know the woman. Like, look at that there. Nice jar of, bloater. Now, as it happens, obviously, you're very, very lucky to find me in this time of night, because normally I'd be out and about. No, you have to. You have to in this street. It's the law. Ladies and gentlemen, if I had £1 for every television programme I made, I'd have the worst agent in the world, basically, because I get like £5 for every single one of the babies that I do. And here's one that I made, particularly close to my heart, because it's got a religious side to it, and I'm a very religious man, as you know. Many times you can walk past my bedroom and hear, oh, God! Of a night. So this is one that I made. Self-explanatory, really. It's to do with a man with a very weird name. I can't remember his name. Crabapple or something like that. who set about erecting things.
I was asked on the CB come back from Charleston, West Virginia on Interstate 79 who was responsible for these crosses and what they meant. I told him that Bernard Cofferdeffer was responsible for putting them up and that it was symbolizing the second coming of Christ.
There you go, that's my good friend Hank and his gorgeous wife. And they're talking about Bernard Coffindodger, who is the man who's put these crosses out. Hard to believe, but that's what he does. That's what he does. Because he's an enormously wealthy man, and he thanks God for his money, and this is his way of thanking the Lord, you know, in a very kind of real way. Let's meet Bernard.
I worked for an oil company 4, 5, 6 years. And then I went into the oil business for myself. I started gathering waste oils. Well, man, I made money hand over fist. Waste oil, something that's an absolute waste. It was no good to anyone else. It had been used and paid for and consumed. God gave it to me to make money with.
After my own heart, in actual fact. So what he did, he had two things that he felt that he should do to please the Lord. One of them, he wasn't sure which, either erect enormous crosses or build the world's biggest kiddies slide. And I said, well, why not try both, Bernard, basically?
And the farm kind of went to pot. Boy, it needed a lot of work. I had no intentions of coming here, but I did, and I renovated it.
Look at that, baby. Imagine, if you will, a 5-year-old at the top of Here goes another kid, Bernard. Yes, they're launching for Jesus, boy. He's a man, though, he's a man with a mission. And he'll explain his mission to you now.
I knew that I'd been told to go out and do a mission. And I suddenly realized that God was handing me a ministry on a worldwide basis that hadn't been handed out to anyone since the Apostle Paul. And I was to go do the work of an evangelist.
So can you imagine that, being handed a mission by God that hadn't been handed out since the Apostle Paul? So, to be an evangelist, to go out, to face up to everybody. If people throw stones at you, if people want to fight you, then you fight them with the word of the Lord. If they don't agree with you, then you argue with them, and you beat them down with your arguments until you get the word across. Fantastically brave thing for you to take on, Bernard.
I was to go do. That doesn't mean I'm to go talk and say. I'm getting any arguments with people or those sort of things.
So, not talk to anyone, just nick their oil. I'm losing it a little bit here, but no, but what he means is perfectly straightforward. What he has to do, not talk, not preach, just erect these crosses. And just by the beauty of the crosses, people will have the Spirit of the Lord enter into them.
And after you notch them, you have 2 pieces of steel through there to hold it all together. Then it's time to erect them. Time to get them up in the air and put them down in the hole.
Okay, watch.
And then you paint. And then when you finish, you turn right around and start painting again, the second coat. Jerusalem gold. And the reason is basic. Gold is of royalty. It says so right in Genesis.
Just before we go any further, anyone here in the building business? Anyone in the trade, building trade? Just a tip. Paint them before you erect them. I don't accuse you of people of being cowboys, but to me, paint them, put them up, rather than put them up, get the big ladder, paint them. But the middle one is always gold because it's Jerusalem gold. What happened to the hill? There is a green hill far away, cover it. Dear Lord was crucified in the middle cross. The other crosses were for the, that's right, they were for the robbers, weren't they? They got the robbers and put them up against the thing and nailed the palms of their hands onto the wood and left them there, hanging there to die. I don't know what colour they paint them. Let's have a look.
The pale blue, it is not only said, but it is. Pale blue is a color that is considered lucky.
Possibly not by a thief, I would say. Very unlucky colour for your thief. Anyway, the thing to remember about this is obviously there are people who are going to be against him. For every man who stands up for what he believes in, there are people who are against him, and Bernard's no different.
I'm Rosalie Earle. I'm assistant city editor of the Charleston Gazette. I wrote a column about the crosses last year because I had just noticed how numerous they had become. It seemed like every curve that I came around, every peak that I hit, there in my vista were blue and gold crosses.
A very mild criticism. Not really against what you're doing, Bernard, but there might be one or two too many. 178 crosses just on one stretch of highway. Might be a little bit. That's all we're saying, Bernard, that maybe you've done the work too well. That's all.
These people do this for their, not purposes of filling up space in the paper, I don't think. I think they do it because they have a genuine hatred for Jesus Christ.
That's a little bit of overreaction there. I like your shoes. I don't like the dress, though. You hate Jesus.
Now, the editor said to me, and I asked him why all the rush and why the constant persecution of my work. And he replied, I asked him how come this lady hated crosses the way she did. And he said to me, I can't tell you why she hates those goddamn crosses. You see what you're up against?
Yeah. No, Bernard, frankly. I'm sorry, I don't. But a very lovely man, a very Christian man, very forgiving man, you know, because obviously you get vandals, of course you do. You can imagine what if you put these things up around London, anywhere in England, what you get. Here, lads, here, get the chainsaw. Let's have a laugh. Well, it's no different in Bernard's neck of the woods, but Bernard's the man who knows how to turn the other cheek.
Then remember this. We don't care what sick person has taken a chainsaw out here to these crosses. And it has occurred. And we replaced them immediately. And we didn't call the cops on those people.
Never grass.
We prayed for their forgiveness. We replaced the crosses. And then we remembered what happened.
There you go. We prayed for their forgiveness. And we remembered so that we may know next time that if it happens again, we may pray for forgiveness again for these poor souls that have taken to chopping down our crosses. Horrible sight. One of Bernard's crosses chopped down. But what does he do when it happens? He gets down on his knees and he says, Dear Lord, forgive these poor sinners who've chopped down my cross. He's a fine, fine man.
You could say to that fella, we're going to catch you. And when we're going to catch you, we're going to show you how a chainsaw works. We're going to cut your head off.
Hey, I've got an idea. While you've got that open, we could lay our new gas main in it.
What a good idea. That would save digging a road up again and causing the public more inconvenience.
Excuse me, mate. You wouldn't mind if we stuck a cable in there at the same time, would you?
The more the merrier.
I've got a phone line.
Anyone else?
How refreshing. How Heineken.
We have a young lady here who's done some sinful and shameful things. What have you done, Claire?
I stuck gum under tables and chairs.
Where, Claire?
Mainly at work.
Anything else?
I once stuck it in my sister's head because she said I had thighs like my mother.
Ah, take a packet of Trebor extra strong mints, then say it.
Thank you, Trebor.
If you want to chat to more people at half the price of 0891, make exchanges your next call on 0894 80 80 80.
The Gay Exchange is now half price. Call 0894 888888 and take advantage of this great special offer. Right here, right now.
Bags of energy, bags of quality, bags of tasty goodness. Butcher's, 100% complete.
Shredded wheat is 100% whole wheat. No added salt or sugar. Made for life. Shredded wheat, made for life.
I've been thinking about the way you walk, baby. I like the way you talk. Say you're something I really can't hide. Heaven must have sent you to be by my side.
Unlike most other teas, Thai Fu is fast foil packed for extra freshness. We lock it in, you let it out. Have you been refreshed by Thai Fu?
Searching for ways to enhance the look and comfort of your home? Why not try this simple step? Philips Soft Tone. See your home in its best light.
New in the Revlon report. Sandstorm. Shimmering sands from calm to stormy. Revlon Sandstorm. Revlon.
Eureka! She goes, what do you want? That's not you. It's an old Greek phrase. And then Nana Muscuri turned up and it all got completely out of hand. Right, here's a programme. One of my favourite programmes that I ever worked on, of course, was London Bridge, which you'll all remember, a Saturday morning show for the kiddies. Back in the 1970s, hosted by the magnificent Mr. Michael Whale, the wonderful Mr. Michael Whale. The production qualities on the show, and nowadays, of course, they have special effects on shows. You watch shows sometimes here now and you think, whoa, how did they do that? And some you think, why on earth did they bother even attempting that? But in those days, everything was a little bit more basic, obviously. And here's Michael, and I said, try it, it might fool some of the stupider kiddies.
Good morning. Well, if you thought that aerial entry makes you think the London Bridge is taken to the air, you're right. Well, at the start of today's show, you saw me appear to fly into the studio. And with London Transport's fares going up next week, it could soon be the cheapest form of travel.
Even the most stupid child in the world didn't... You didn't appear to fly into the studio. I said invisible wires, Michael. Do you remember? Do you remember? The problem that Michael had on this show wasn't just a problem for him, researchers. Nowadays, I've got researchers. Any show I work in, I've got 3 or 4 dozen of them at my fingertip. I can say, what was the name of the Greek mathematician? I had no idea. But Michael struggled with researchers, right? And they just didn't give him the backup. So when a guest came on, he wasn't altogether sure who the hell they were.
And you are what? You're some champion of junior champion.
Tennis world champion, me and Stuart are under 12 synchro champions.
It's incredible.
It's incredible you didn't know that before they turned up. You're some kind of champion. I'm the world champion. Oh, are you really? Oh, well, that's very nice for you. And then it gets even worse here, look.
The sport of go-karting. And with me now are 3 young experts who know far more than I do about the sport. Mark, Martin and Lorraine. And Lorraine, I'll start with you. As a lady in go-karting, I think that's fantastic. But you in fact came, what, first or second in the junior championship?
Second in the junior world championship.
Gosh, where was that held?
It's at Rye House in Hoddesdon.
Was that recently, or?
I don't know where you finished, where it was, or when it was. In fact, I haven't got a clue what the hell's going on. So he had a problem with the search. Also, had a very funny thing about words. There were certain words, names, for instance. Names he was in big trouble with, all right? S-H-A-R-O-N, right? You all know that, S-H-A-R-O-N. You know that name, don't you? You've probably got mates with that name. There's probably people watching at home who've got that name, right? You know how you pronounce it.
And welcome back. First, congratulations to the lucky winners of last week's Barry Blue albums. They are Sharon Lucas.
Sharon Lucas from Catford. Imagine that poor girl having to walk down the road. Oh, come here, Sharon. Bang. And I said to him, people are sensitive about their names. I said, the next week, I said, come here, you. Look, there's another one of them on today. It is not pronounced Sharon, okay? Get it right this time.
with me this morning are some other younger London Bridge viewers. Among them, there's Sharon.
Make the bloody effort! The name being reached is Pete, a very, very lovely Thai girl off one of the James Bond films. Remember the scene? I think it's The Man with the Golden Gun, isn't it? The two little Taiwanese girls who do karate. It's fantastic. It was a very big star to have on the show at that time. Kind of star you'd want to treat with a bit of respect, I'd have thought.
Ouch. Joy, who just placed that, whatever it was, on the man's head. What's your second name? Because you're from Thailand, and I can't pronounce it, I'm sure, properly.
Vejajiva.
Marvellous.
Poor girl. Flown all this way to visit. What's your name? Retajiva. Marvellous. Well, if you're happy with that, my dear, then you just stick with it. Not just names, words. We knew these words even back in the 70s. Why didn't you know them, Michael?
That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, now we're going to see you do your solo, I was going to call it act, but I think, what would you call it in trampoline?
Routine.
Routine.
Not a new word, surely. You know, it's not an act, it's a routine. Go on, carry on.
Well, over here we've got, in fact, Hazel, a chiropodist.
A chiropodist.
Thank you.
Is it chiropodist? No, it's chiropodist. It's chiropodist, thank you. I'll tell you what I'll do with that word there, chiropodist. I'll remember that in case I need it just a little bit later on in the interview.
Now, what's happening here? It looks rather lethal, that.
That is a corn and colour spa.
Yes.
And Hazel, in fact, is taking away the hard skin that grows on the soles of your feet.
Is it possible to do all this at home without going to the
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would never normally do this to a fellow professional, but I want to hear that again in its full glory. Because there is a phrase, oh, he stumbled over a word, right? He literally stumbles. He physically falls over saying this word. Listen.
Is it possible to do all this at home without going to the
Chiropodist. Whoops! He reached his peak when he was interviewing a skater. This is a young girl who was a skater. He had a terrible thing with a part of the anatomy he didn't feel he could possibly say on children's television. But then she'd won an award. The award was quite clearly a pair of gold-plated skates. There could be no doubt about that.
That's fantastic. How do you do those twiddly bits? Do you ever fall down on the part of the anatomy that we all think we fall on in skating?
Okay, you mean my arse, Michael? Does he mean arse? Is that what he means? No, look.
Have you ever crashed to the ground?
Oh, yes, a few times. Quite a few times.
Did you enjoy that film?
Yes.
And you've got the award with you, I think, to show us, which are, what are they? They're gold-plated, so, yeah, it's fantastic.
He doesn't know what they are. Take a guess. Take a stab in the dark, Mike, about what they're... And then, I'm going to have to show you that again, because then not only covers not knowing what they are by making the most absurd claim possible about their value.
So that's fantastic. I think they're worth more than money now, aren't they?
Good try, guys. Everyone was right up to speed tonight. Super. Well done.
Bob?
Oh, it's, hang on,
It's Conrad.
Conrad, that's
Bob.
right. You're on the show, you do something?
I'm your producer.
Conrad, my producer, of course, yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Look, Bob, I've got to show you this, OK?
Ah, this would be some kind of epistle, some kind of correspondence?
Some kind of letter.
Oh, it's a letter?
Yeah.
And it's a letter of, what would you say, disapproval, disavowalment?
It's a letter of complaint, Bob.
A letter of complaint, sure, about the kind of double entendre.
It's a letter of complaint about your rubbish gags.
Oh, right, a letter of complaint about the rubbish gags. Well, I actually, funnily enough, I asked the editor about this, and I said, why does this woman hate my jokes so much? And he said, Bob, I can't tell you why this woman hates your jokes so much. You see what I'm up against? Please. What have we got here? What's in my cupboard here? Let's have a look. Ah, well, here, this is the kind of thing you need to know. You probably wouldn't not know this, right? But say you had a show business friend came round. Maybe Michael Aspel come round. There you go. Bit of cheese. Loves a bit of cheese, Michael Aspel. Obviously, Melvin Bragg comes round. You have to give him that seriously strong cheese. Right, and what about if anybody come round? What about if Barrymore come round? There you go. Nice fizzy drink. Nice fizzy drink for Barrymore. There you go. But hey, if a gladiator come round, you have to give him that, you see? Big drink. Maybe Vanessa come round. Vanessa Feltz come round. You have to give her that, look. Bigger. That's very nice. That's lovely, that. Now, what have we got in here? What's my family got for us in here? Well, I don't quite understand what's going on here, my family. This is a tube of pate, is it? Is that what it is? Well, and then what? And a picture. Oh, there's lots of these around my house. They're very lovely. They're very svelte. Miss Vanessa Feltz, very good showbiz friend of mine. Now, you put them together and you... What have you got here? Oh, I see. Oh, that's supposed to be funny, is it, my family? Well, you don't know the woman. Like, look at that there. Nice jar of, look, bloater. Now, as it happens, obviously, you're very, very lucky to find me in this time of night, because normally I'd be out and about. No, you have to. You have to in this street. It's the law. Ladies and gentlemen, if I had £1 for every television programme I made... No, seriously, never mind about that. I'll tell you what happened. I was in my bath. I was having a bath, right, and I'm lying there soaking like little rubber ducks bobbing along there, and I've got all the oils in there. And I suddenly realised that the amount of body of mine was in the bath, the water level had risen to the certain extent that the water had been displaced by my body, right? And I'd come across a great mathematician, and I went, Eureka! And this little Scandinavian bird pops her head in, right? I said, what's going on here? A couple of lovely... Oh, I do get some lovely gifts, and this one is absolutely beautiful. She said, a very, very pretty girl sent me this. That's Vanessa May has sent me that, bless her. And said, so you can count the hours that we're apart. Absolutely. Beautiful violinist, and 15, which in my book is legal. There you go. There you go. Now, what have we got now? Oh, now, this stuff. This is the most important part of my equipment. Please. What I've done with this, right, I'm not a religious person. I wasn't until this happened. This pipe, God gave me this. God sent this to me to earn me loads of money. What you do is you put that end in someone's petrol tank, right? And you suck that end until the suction gets going, then you put it into another tank and all the petrol comes round and you can get it, right? And that's paid for. Someone's already paid for it. It's waste petrol and you can keep that yourself. And God gave me that to sell and make millions of pounds for myself. There you go. It's always best to keep a little bit of that for afterwards. However you do anything dirty with your mouth, always use that afterwards.